morning, boys and girls. How are we doing today?
Great.
Good. We are going to review what we learned about last class, and that is figurative language and the types of figurative language. Who can tell me what figurative language is? Megan?
Is it a word that is describing something, but it's not the actual literal meaning?
Kinda. It's more than a word. Elise?
It can be a word or a phrase.
A word or a phrase, correct. It's going to be a word or a phrase that doesn't mean what it actually says. Okay? So last class we read a book called Crazy Like a Fox, and it focused on one specific type of figurative language. Who can tell me what that type was? Elise?
Similes.
Simile, good. Okay, so that's one of them. We talked about 6. So who can name another one? Megan?
Metaphor.
Metaphor, good. All right, we're looking for 4 more. Elise?
Personification.
Personification, good. Okay, halfway there. Megan?
Hyperbole.
Hyperbole. Two more. Elise?
Alliteration.
Alliteration, good. And looking for our last one. Megan?
Onomatopoeia.
Onomatopoeia, good. All right, so there's 6 of those. I want you to collaborate with your scholars. We're going to talk about what each one of those 6 means. So go ahead and discuss with your partner.
Okay. So something is comparing something using objects.
Yeah. Metaphor doesn't use like
Giving something that's not even like human characteristic.
And hyperbole is exaggeration.
Yep. Alliteration is a tricky one for me. It's the same letter, using the same letter
And phrase.
in the phrase. You make a word.
I don't know how to say that.
And onomatopoeia is like a sound.
All right, are we
I
done?
think.
We discussed all of them?
Yeah.
Okay, let's direct our attention back up here to the smartboard. We're looking at the first one, simile. Who can tell me what a simile is? Megan?
It's comparing something using the words like or as.
Comparison using like or as. Good job. What about a metaphor? It's kind of similar. Elise?
You compare things, but you don't use like that.
Not using like or as, so just saying something is something else, right? What about personification? It's a long one. Megan?
It's giving something that's not human characteristics.
Right, correct. What about hyperbole? Elise?
It's an exaggeration, something that doesn't actually.
Good, something that doesn't really happen how it says, right? Okay, alliteration. This one's another tricky one.
Try.
Megan?
Okay, it's when you use the same letter at the beginning of a word consistently in a sentence.
Right, the same sound or same letter right after each other. It's going to be at the beginning of a word. And last one is onomatopoeia. It's a tricky one. Let's look at it. This is the one that sounds funny. Remember we figured out ways to remember them last class? This is the one that looks funny and sounds funny.
Oh.
Elise?
The words like Zoom, or it sounds like.
It's the word that sounds like the sound, right? Good job. All right, now I'm going to give you an example, and I want one of you guys to come up here and touch the smartboard where it's the correct term, correct? All right, I'm going to give you an example of Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Who can show me which one that one is? Elise. Alliteration. Good job. All right, we got onomatopoeia. In metaphor, let's go to the stars danced in the sky. You can tell me which that one is. Megan. Personification, good job. All right, now we're going to go to one of our charts. This is called a cluster. It's kind of like a web diagram, all right? I'm going to hand them out to each of you guys, and in the center circle, I want you to write figurative language, because that's what we're focusing on today, okay? From that center circle is connected to 6 other circles. And there's 6 of these, so I want you to write each type of figurative language in each of the 6 circles. And then on the outside is 6 more circles connected, and that's where you're going to write specific examples. And you're going to come up with your own and be creative as you want, okay? All right. All right, so in the center, I want you to write figurative language. Yes, Elise?
How do you spell figurative?
Give me one sec. All right, let's sound it out. It's going to be fig, tiv, language. Okay, and then from that center circle, you're going to be connected to 6 other ones, and in each one, you're going to write the type of figurative language. Great job. All right, do we see the 6 circles that you guys haven't touched yet? That is where you're going to write your examples. You're going to write an example of each one and be creative as you can be, okay? If you have any questions, just raise your hand. Megan.
Were you wanting sentences for everyone?
You can write a sentence for everyone except for onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia can just be a word.
Okay.
Great, simile. Kind of tricky, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's a great example of personification. Thank you. Boys, girls, when you're done, set your pencil down so I can tell who's ready. Great job. I like how you sat up straight, Elise. Good job, boys and girls. All right, let's look at simile. Who's got a good example of the simile? Elise, what's yours?
She buzzed around like a bee.
She buzzed around like a bee. Great example. What about you, Megan?
She looked like a princess.
Don't we all wish we could look like a princess? Well, except for the boys. Okay, what about a metaphor? Megan.
He had a heart of
A
stone.
heart of stone doesn't sound like a nice guy. What about you, Elise?
The teacher is a mother hen.
Well, I try to take care of you guys. What about personification? Elise.
The leaf danced around in the wind.
Awesome example. Can you show us how that is? Great example. All right, Megan, what about you?
I had the breeze whistled in my ear.
Great. How does that sound? A good whistle. Good job. Won't make you embarrass yourself.
Thank you.
All right, hyperbole. Megan.
I'm so hungry I could eat a horse.
That is very hungry.
Mhm.
What about you, Elise? What's your hyperbole?
This homework is going to take 7 years.
No, it's not that much homework. All right, 2 more. What about alliteration? Elise?
Chris cooked cupcakes.
Chris cooked cupcakes. I hope they're good. What about you, Megan? Alliteration?
Megan made monster cookies.
Megan made monster cookies. You and Chris could be friends.
Good. Big
What,
together.
what about onomatopoeia? Megan?
Snap, crackle, pop.
Snap, crackle, pop. What does that remind you of?
Rice Krispies.
Rice Krispie treats or cereal.
Yep, true.
An onomatopoeia for you, Elise.
Boom.
Boom, like a bomb, right?
Mhm.
Good job. All right, boys and girls. Today we reviewed what figurative language was. We talked about the 6 types that we discussed last time, which is simile, metaphor, personification, hyperbole, alliteration, and onomatopoeia. And you guys came up with your own examples of each one. Fantastic job and job well done. Good job.